Welcome back. Now we're going to talk about adverbs. Adverbs answer questions like when, where, how much, how often, in what manner, and to what degree. They are often formed by adding ly to certain adjectives, but can take other forms such as here, now, often, such, well, and almost. Adverbs appear frequently in speech and writing because they can modify verbs, adjectives, prepositions, conjunctions, phrases, clauses, and also other adverbs. In the sentence, I studied feverishly, the adverb feverishly modifies the verb studied. In what a wonderfully scrumptious meal, wonderfully modifies scrumptious, an adjective. In the birds flew right over the lake, right, another adverb, modifies over, a preposition. And in the sentence, I arrived just after it started, the adverb just modifies the subordinating conjunction after. Let's look at some more examples. The entire phrase, to the brink of madness, is modified by the adverb practically. Similarly, the clause, you forgot to check your references, is modified by the adverb apparently. Finally, in the sentence, he speaks exceedingly well, the adverb exceedingly modifies the adverb well. Like adjectives, adverbs in English can be marked to indicate degree. Some fit a standard form, such as soon, sooner, and soonest, while others take an irregular form, as in badly, worse, and worst. Some adverbs cannot be marked to indicate degree, in the sense that something can't be found more or less universally or come more or less first. Adverbs that cannot be marked include now and then, first or finally, eternally, singly, or rarely. Words like quite, very, rather, extremely, and to are called intensifiers, and while they don't act upon the actual meaning of a clause, they do emotionally enhance the words they modify. All intensifiers are adverbs. The position of adverbs can completely alter the meaning of a sentence. For example, take the sentence, I have eyes only for you. The adverb only modifies the phrase for you. I'm saying that I have eyes for you alone, darling, and no one else. Likewise, where the adverb nearly modifies the verb lost, understand that we still have our camping equipment. But where nearly modifies all, we lost a substantial amount of camping equipment, nearly all of it. Like adjectives, adverbs also conform to a royal order when it comes to arranging them in sequence. Adverbs are arranged in order of manner, place, frequency, time, and purpose. Consider the sentence, I meditate blissfully in my garden every afternoon at 4 p.m. to find inner peace. Blissfully is the manner in which I meditate. My garden is where I meditate. Every afternoon is how frequently I meditate. At 4 p.m. is when I meditate. And finding inner peace is the purpose for which I meditate. You should be careful when using adverbs, as they are well known for their ability to weaken writing. Whenever a word is modified, its meaning is altered. Sometimes this is useful, but other times an adverb, or series of adverbs, will rob a word of its power, clutter the text, and add superfluous information. Stephen King had this to say about adverbs in his book, On Writing, a Memoir of the Craft. I believe the road to hell is paved with adverbs, and I will shout it from the rooftops. To put it another way, they're like dandelions. If you have one on your lawn, it looks pretty and unique. If you fail to root it out, however, you find 5 the next day, 50 the day after that, and then, my brothers and sisters, your lawn is totally, completely, and profligately covered with dandelions. By then you see them for the weeds they really are, but by then it's too late. To reiterate, adverbs, if not used deliberately and sparingly, clutter the page with uselessness, stifle the imagination, and get in the way of otherwise strong words. For example, the sentences Daria walked lazily to the bus stop and Jane ate her pizza messily and quickly are boring and verbose owing to the adverbs lazily, messily, and quickly. If we then described how Daria walks or how Jane eats using stronger verbs, we end up with Daria slouched or Daria lumbered to the bus stop and Jane guzzled or Jane ingurgitated her pizza. One final piece of advice is this: avoid weasel words. Adverbs like actually, generally, apparently, basically, and essentially are weasel words. One potential Prime Minister of Australia was rumoured to have lost an election because every time he spoke to a journalist, he prefaced his remarks with "speaking frankly," which sabotaged his message. So basically, you should actually, generally, use weasel words very carefully. As you can see, when poorly used, these words are vague, ambiguous, and unnecessary.